Very good morning, leaders. We will be starting our session soon. On 11:05, we will be starting the session. Thanks for joining.
Very good morning, dear leaders. Sir, I am audible?
Yes, madam, you're audible.
Yes, sir. Very good morning, dear leaders. A warm welcome to you all. I have been very happy to see you all on today's session. I am Dhanlakshmi from INVITI Training Wing. So before going into the session, a small introduction about INVITI. Invent, Innovate, Inspire. INVITI founded by alumnus of IIT, CEG and RLI in a vision to inspire the world by technological inventions and innovations through neurotecho corporate research and training in the field of safety, disruptive technologies and quality. So today we are going to see about ISO 45001 by Satya Narayanan. Satya sir, now you can proceed the session, sir.
Okay, ma'am, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You
Sir.
Very good morning. Can you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, very good morning. It's always a pleasure to meet you all once again in this platform on ISO 45001. ISO 45001. I will be sharing the screen. There is some technical issues in my laptop. Sure, I will share my screen and also the presentation. The main important thing which we have to know is what is ISO 45001. Why this ISO 451 is been okay? Somewhat it has been mandatory to all. What are the things we can able to get? Okay, return on investment. Once you are going to once you have been going to implement this ISO 45001. This is the main theme which we have been going to see today, because most of the industries nowadays we have been going for this ISO accreditation. Yes, good. What is the return on investment? Can any one of us can able to share in the chat box what are the benefits we have been getting once we have been going this kind of accreditation? What are the benefits? Can anyone can able to share or can able to put, because that's very important thing. By knowing that, if we can able to know the benefits, or if we have been going to enjoy that benefit, surely we have been going to make sure that we have been in the right way. We can able to implement this ISO 45001 in a right way, which has been expected by this ISO 45001 and also that ISO committee. Actually, what is ISO 45001? What are the benefits you have been what are the benefits you have been enjoying while you have been implementing this ISO 45001? Anyone can able to put in the chat box what are the benefits you are going to do to meet regular norms? Okay, to meet the regulatory norms. Okay, very good. Okay, I've been getting another customer will have trust on the organization, maintaining good health and safety. Okay. Apart from that, the customer will have a trust on the organization. Trust, yes, we will have a process and meet regulatory norms. Yes, we can able to see that in a very deep way, maintaining good health and safety. Okay. Yes, of course, the three things. Thanks for that. But make sure, that whether these three things is been whether these three things is been stated at ISO, whether this ISO 45001 is talking about any regulatory norms of our India, of our country? No, not at all. But but it is mandatory if we are going to for ISO certification, any ISO certification. It may be ISO 45001, 91001, anything. We have to ensure that all the safety norms, all the regulatory norms and statutory norms have been followed. That's very good. Safety standards should maintain and ensure regular basis. Okay, measure OHs. Okay, the objectives. Very good. Okay, very happy to see the reflections here. My dear friends, yes, these are the things. Okay, these are the things, mandatory things. It has to be there. Apart from that, there are lot of benefits you can able to get once we are implementing this ISO 45001 in a right way. For that, you have to know. For that we have to know what is ISO first. First you have to know what is ISO. What is ISO? ISO is whether it is a regulatory body. Yes or no? Whether ISO is a regulatory body?
No, it is not regulatory body.
Good, it's not a regulatory body. If ISO is not a regulatory body, then why all the MNCs, all the tier 1, tier 2 companies, they have been going for ISO? It may be any kind of certification. It may be 9001, 45001, 27001, whatever it is. Why we have been forced to go for this certification?
It's an international one.
International one. Okay. Yes, ISO, the full form of ISO is International Organization of Standardization. That's very good. But as one of our leader has been told, it's a international, my dear friends. ISO, it's like WHO. Okay, it's not a regulatory or statutory body. First, we have to be more clear on that. Whenever a standard is going to be formed, whenever you are going to form any standard, at that time, okay, whenever you are going to form any kind of standard, at that time, there will be a committee will be there. There will be a committee. In that committee, there are around 161 countries have been there as a member of ISO. Okay, India is also a part of member. Whenever they are going to develop any kind of standard, they are going to ask the suggestions from all the countries which has been a part of them. This is going to be the part of them. That is a very, very, very important thing. So in that 162 countries, in this 162 countries, you have to be more sure. Okay, you have to be more sure in such a way, okay, in such a way that whether the standards or whether the things which we have been going to prescribe is being applicable, okay, is being applicable, or whether it is being accepted by all these 162 countries. So to make sure that that 162 countries, the standard is going to be accepted. They need that standard, so it is going to be formed. It is going to be passed in the executive committee, and every 5 years we are going to have a revision, or every 7 years once we can able to upgrade the standard also. So for that purpose, all the institutions, okay, all the institutions globally, okay, globally, what they are saying is ISO 45, any kind of ISO, okay, ISO is a guidelines to make sure, okay, it's a type of guidelines to make sure that minimum requirement, what are the things they are going to tell in ISO? It's a minimum requirement. It's not a highest point. It's a minimum requirement. So we have to fulfill it. You can able to have your own standard also, but you can able to keep it as a guidelines. You can able to keep it as a guideline. So have a clear-cut idea out of it. The next one, before going into the session, I just want to make sure that there are more than 20,000 ISO standards are there. More than 20,000 standards are there. So every standard is having its own uniqueness. Every standard is having its own uniqueness. It is not that we are having only 6 to 7 standards. Each standard is having its own uniqueness. That is the main important thing, main advantage. Okay, that's the main advantage of this ISO also. Whenever you are going to define a good practice, whenever you are going to define a SOP, my suggestion, humble submission is make sure that you are going to go for Google and see that whether some kind of ISO, okay, guidelines have been available or not. So how we are going to do that? If you are going to prepare a SOP for health and safety, okay, you can able to go for straight away. You can able to go for ISO. Whether we are going to have any kind of documents which is been pretended to this. There are two types of documents are there. ISO. There are supporting ISO standards are there and auditable standards are there. Today we are going to talk about ISO 45001, which is called as a auditable standard. There are other standards which is called as a supporting standard. For example, ISO 19001 is a supporting standard. How to do the audit? You can able to use whether you are being a certified firm or not, whether you got that or not. It's not that, but you can able to get the best practices out of it. That's very important thing. The next very important thing is you can also able to have a standard called 10,001, which is known as risk analysis. How to identify the risk? How to identify the risk? We may be talking about hazards, risks. We are having a separate guidelines for that itself. We are going to have a separate guidelines for that. So make sure that we have been using that. So I hope my screen has been visible to you. The thing which we are going to see today is design a business model incorporating safety. Yes, many of us who have been thinking that safety is different vertical and business is a different vertical. How we can able to how we can able to integrate both of the things. That is going to be the key takeaway of this today's session. And my humble submission is, my dear leaders, if you are going for ISO 45001, make sure that you are knowing the process. You are going to know what is going to be the benefit. Then go for it, and don't ever go for any kind of consultant. Because yes, we can able to go for a consultant. That's good, but make sure that you are going to have what is I've been going to get benefited if I've been going to implement that. So where you are going to start today, where you are going to start this ISO 45001 journey is how you are going to integrate the safety standard into your business model. That is going to be the $1 million question. Yes or no? As a safety professional, whenever I have been doing an audit on ISO 45001 or a type of audit on IS 14489, always I will tell to my customers, tell to my friends that the main important first step is how you are integrating it. Yes or no? If you can able to integrate it, that's going to be the first step. You can able to ensure that safety is being prioritized in your industry. What is the step? First step, list out the safety promises. What are the safety promises you have been given to your employees? What are the safety promises you have been given to your customers? What are the safety promises you have been given to your suppliers? What are the safety promises you have been given to your stakeholders? List out that. What may be the safety promises we can able to give to our employees? Here, there is no acute and chronic damage. You can able to have a very good health. You can able to improve your health. Your health is not going to be damaged. These are the different types of safety promises. Some of our customers would have been listing out. This should be the guidelines of the persons who have been working in your industries. You may be giving some of the safety promises to your customers also. Okay, to the customers, to the environment, list out all that. Okay, list out all that. Some of the things we can able to see that it is not going to, this wrapper is not going to harm the environment. It is being done as a biodegradable material. It is also a safety promises to the environment. Yes or no? Like that, list out all the important safety promises which is given by your top manager. It's not by the safety officer, it's not by the HR. I'm telling that the safety promises given by the top management, that has to be listed out. Then the step 2 is ensure the promises. You tell that what is the process we are going to have to ensure the promises. If I've been saying that the mental health and physical health of my employee is going to be taken care in a regular manner, what is the process we are having for that? Yes or no? Without a process, I can't able to make sure that I've been keeping up my promise. I should be able to have a promise. I should be able to have a process for that, to making sure that I've been keeping up my promise. So identify the process. Are we having for that? In my wrapper, I've been posted that it is not going to harm for environment. I'm having a process to identify different type of suppliers, whether the wrapper which we are going to give, whether it is going to be a biodegradable one. Everything is a process, yes or no? So first one is list out the promise. Second one is list out whether you are going to have a promises or not. If you are not going to have a promise, if you are not going to have a process for your promises, it's not in a right way. So you have to create a SOP. You have to make sure that whether the stated promises is being an essential one or not. If it is not so, kindly remove that promise. That's only we are able to do that. The next one is step 3, setting a dashboard to track the type of safety. what is a dashboard we are going to have? I hope we would have been talked about a objective, safety objective. You have been told about safety objective. Are we having a dashboard? What is a dashboard? Some 5 to 6 elements which has to be monitored on a regular way. It has to be there in the screen whenever you are going to open your laptop. Every department it has to have a type of dashboard which is being related to the safety. For example, trainings. If you are going to have a trainings, if you are going to tell that every day, toolbox stock has been essential. Are we doing that? Are we doing that? Are we having a track for that? So make sure that you have been having a dashboard for that. Dashboard is very, very essential one. It's not only a safety officer or HR has to do, and also at the time of audit, they have to show that it has to be visible to all the employees and also to all the ends of the process which is being related, which they have been related, they have to know that. Next one is have a SPOC analysis, have your strength, weakness, opportunities, and challenges. What are the areas based on the process? Have a strength, weakness, opportunity, and challenges. Have these 4 things and see that what are the things we can be able to execute the safety. Why it has been weak, whether the safety area has been weak or whether we have to make sure that additional things has to be added. Next, follow and execute the prioritized list. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 we have been done, and you can able to see that based on your SPOC analysis, you would have been finding out list of things. SPOC analysis, where you are going to do the SPOC analysis. SPOC analysis you are going to do on the step 2 and step 3 only. What are the process you have been covering under step 2 and step 3? Then the step 5 you are going to have the prioritized list. These are the things very much essential related to safety. Then I can able to. It's not only related to safety. It's not only related to safety. It is related to safety and also related to our business, day-to-day business. If it is not fulfilled, one day or another day, it's going to affect my entire business. So in this way, my dear friends, in this way, you have to give a report to your top management. Imagine if you are not doing step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, straight away you are going to go for step 5 and telling them, straight away you have been going to step 5 and you are going to tell them that kindly give me the permissions, or you can able to tell that kindly give the approvals for so many things they may not know, or they may not know the seriousness. Yes or no? If you can able to follow this 1, 2, 3, then a SPOC analysis, then give you a report. Sir, these are the promises you have been done. For that promises, I done this SPOC analysis. For this SPOC analysis, this is the result. If this thing is being going to do, has to be followed, this many problems can able to occur. Then immediately the proposals which you have been given can be followed, can be implemented. So this is the 5-step procedure. Make sure, I can able to share this PPT also with you, but make sure that you are going to address the safety issues in this way. Next one is safety process approach. There is a term called safety process approach. Safety process approach is a very, very important thing which you have to ensure, which you have to ensure that whether we have been, having a process that ensures that safety is a part of it. Before going into a safety process approach, can anyone able to give you a reflections in the chat box? What is a process approach? So what is a process approach, or what is a process? Process is planned action. Good. Vivin sir, what is process? Process is planned action. Okay, very good. My dear leaders, you have to understand, okay, you have to understand this. Whenever we are, it's not our day-to-day action. Whenever the word process, setting up a process is such a very, very important thing, that too for safety. Whenever we are going to talk about, okay, whenever we are going to talk about safety, okay, whenever you are going to safety, process is very, very important. Process is very, very important. What is process? I know, okay, what is the input, what is a required input. I know if it is going to be the input, what is going to be the output. What is going to be the input? Predicted, okay, predicted input and predicted output is known as a process. If I can't able to predict my output, then we can able to term it as a process variation is very, very high. So we can't able to predict. If the process variation is very, very high, at that area, near misses will be very, very high. Yes or no? Accidents, possibility of accidents is very, very high. Imagine, okay, imagine if a person is going to work at height, okay, is being going to do the job at work at height. What are the inputs you have to give? Fall arrestor, okay, we have to give the safety belt, you have to give the tool book stock, everything. Okay, these are the inputs. You know what is going to be the output. Output, the person is going to do his job and safely is going to come down. That is going to be the expected output. For example, in a day of, okay, in this activity of 50 times the expected output has been met, then the process is having variation is very, very less. If in the 50, 30 or 20 times there is some problem has been happened, okay, some problem related to that. So the process output, I am expecting something, but it is not going to happen. That is known as the process variation is very high. Whenever there is a process variation at that time, okay, at that process, at that area, you can able to say that probability of accident is very, very, very high. Is it acceptable or not? So it is our responsibility to design, okay, to design your entire, okay, entire process as a well-defined process approach. Process approach, whenever you are going to talk about process approach, I have been termed a word called process approach. What is process approach? Process, yes, you have to have a process, but whenever you are going to talk about process approach, my dear leaders, make sure that the process approach is nothing but process approach should be able to have a PDCA and a risk-based approach. Process, first step. Second step is a process approach. What is process approach? Process approach is PDCA and risk-based approach. These two things has to be there in a process. Then only I can able to tell it as a safety process approach. Whenever you are going to have a process approach, then I can able to damn sure, surely you are going to reduce the even the near misses also. So what is PDCA? Plan, do, check, act. Yes, everyone can able to know it. Okay, it is one of the Deming's principle, very good principle. But at time of plan, okay, at time of plan, what are the things you are going to execute? What are the as per plan? Okay, as per plan, whether I have been finished my job or not. Plan, do, plan, do. For example, okay, for example, see that I've been planned, okay, I've been planned to do a job, okay, at my fifth floor by using the scaffolding. By using the scaffolding, I've been going there and I've been doing that. It is my plan. I've been doing that. Everyone will be doing that. But in my aspect, plan and do. In this bucket of plan, you should be able to have a safety measure. You have to have a safety guidelines. Do, you should be able to have a safety implementation. Everyone will do this. Plan, do, every one of us will do this. What about the check and act? Check whether as per my plan I did it or not. Whenever I've been going to do the work at height, I have to get a permit, work at height permit. That is my plan. whether I executed it or not. Yes or no? Whether I've been executing it or not, that is going to be the check. Sir, check whether it is going to be 6 months once, 3 months once. It's not so. It should be the day-to-day activity. Tomorrow, if I've been going to start the activity, it should be there whether my execution yesterday is as per my plan or not. It's not that being in a process, go with the flow. It's not going to helpful in our safety. Have a plan, then execute the plan, have a checkpoint. Checkpoint is very, very necessary. In that checkpoint only, my dear leaders, I can able to say that, yes, have been guidelines, safety guidelines have been put in plan. Safety guidelines have been implemented. Whether it has to be upgraded or whether it has to be tailor-made, okay, is a very, very important thing. Tailor-made. That decision can be taken whenever you are going to have a checkpoint. It's not internal auditing. It's not any kind of corporate auditing. I'm telling that the check should be done internally. It should be a process. Okay, then act. What we are going to act? Yes, in my plan, you have been put that every day. Okay, every day you are going to have a toolbox stuff. But if they are not having a time for that, what they are going to do that? Can we able to have a kiosk? Okay, that is the act. Okay, yeah, as I told you, tailor-made and then implementing the things which you have. This is known as a part of process approach. If you are going to tell that, yes, I am having a process approach, then see that, are we having this Pdca? Then it's not going to stop here. My dear friends, it's not going to stop here. It's not going to stop on in act. Okay, then it has to be again the act. It has to be given the feedback to the planning cycle. Then yes, we are going to put a kiosk and we are going to work that. Then in my plan, I would have been rewritten my plan stating that instead of toolbox talk, we may go for a kiosk itself. The kiosk is going to display the training. We are going to get the answer. So it is a continuous process. See that plan, do, check, act. Very, very simple tool for safety. You can able to ensure if you are be having this, the safety standard will be keep on. It can able to develop. It can able to build. You can able to have a very good system if you are going to have this Pdca. Next one is risk-based approach. Excellent thing. Okay, excellent thing. Under class 6, they have been asking that before and all. Okay, ISO on and before 2015. There is no word called risk-based approach and all. It is only preventive maintenance. Something has been happened, then we are going for any kind of preventive that should not be happened. But nowadays it has been done. Okay, that the days have been gone. Now they are talking about risk-based approach. Before something is going to wrong, okay, you have to have a chart for all the process. All the process owners has to have a chart with them. They have to tell what are the risks which has been associated with the process. Risk related to safety, related to health of your employees. In each process, if it is a maintenance department head has to have a list. He has to have a list. I will show that list to you. You can able to see that the list should be risk should be identified. It's not the risk which has been accepted or which has been felt. It's not so. It can be, but it can be predicted risk also. For example, COVID-3, wave 3. We are not felt that, but what is the plan you are going to have for that? Who is going to be the responsible? Yes, there is a risk. How you are going to mitigate the risk? What is the plan for that? Who is responsible for that? What is the resource you are going to have? Everything should be in the chart. If the chart is with you, whenever that scenario is been there, then you are going to take that. Yes, very good. You are going to implement with some small modification. That is going to be the biggest. Okay, that is going to be the biggest advantage of implementing this ISO 45001. If the risk charts are with you, okay, if you are having this risk chart with you, if you are having this for all the process, you are done. You can also able to add the near misses associated with all the process. Then you can able to have a strategic plan with related to this risk chart. Now, I will show you. Okay, I will show you the manual with you. I can able to show you the manual. How this entire, okay, how this entire classes have been put up, so we can able to have a very good idea. Here, this is a manual. This manual consists of class 1 to 10. All the not all, most 90% of the ISO class, which has been developed after 2015, they have been having a same structure. Okay, same high level structure. From 1 to 10, the headings will be same, but the sub headings, okay, subclasses will be different. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3, which is being called as a non-auditable class. Scope, normative reference, terms and definitions. It's not for audit, but it's for our purpose to understand, to implement this in a better way. But in my perception, that 3, okay, this one, terms and definition, is very, very important thing to understand, okay, to understand the real meaning of some words. For example, in our day-to-day activities, we may be telling that shall. Okay, shall means we can or we cannot do. But here, shall means it is mandatory. You have to do that. You have to have a document. The same way, if it is documented information, they won't be the entire document. They won't be calling whether we have to maintain a document or record. They will be called. They
Yeah, gentlemen, can you hear me? There is some problem with this network. Satyana will join soon. My name is Perumal.
Permal sir, can I continue, sir?
Satya, please.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Sorry, sir. There is some internet issues from my side. That's why I can't able to be there. Okay, we will start from there. Actually, criteria that class 1, class 2, and class 3. It is a non-auditable standard. But make sure, okay, that you have been having a close look on class 3. Okay, in the class 3, lot of things have been done. For example, okay, documented information. For the documented information, we have to know, okay, we have to know the difference between a document and a record. First, you have to know what is the difference between a document and a record. Can anyone can able to help me? Can able to put your reflection? What is a document and what is a record? What is the differentiate between these two things? Okay. Okay. My dear friends, whenever you are going to have a documents and records, you have a close look on this. Okay. Most of the times, many of us would have been telling that, sir, documents and records, we are not getting the utmost benefit. We are not going to get the, we are not getting the utmost benefit of uh, of having or following or maintaining the record. Whenever you are going to say about the difference between document and record, okay, document and record, okay, very good. Cannot be editable, documents can be editable, very good, sir. Record is, yes, of course, that is a main important thing. Documents can be editable, records cannot be editable. But whenever you are going to have a close look, okay, whenever you are going to have a close look, documents are the stated, okay, stated principles or the stated requirement, yes or no? Documents are the stated requirements. It's like SOP. This has to be done, this can be done. To make sure, okay, to make sure that the stated, okay, to make sure that the stated things which have been in documents, whether it is been followed or not, it is been, okay, it is been captured in the record. For example, 8:45, all the employees has to be there, have to be present at the office, can be stated at one of the rules and regulations or SOP, if it has been followed or not. Whether the stated thing is being followed or not, it can be, okay, it can be monitored, it can be checked by having a record. So here the takeaway for today's session is, second takeaway for today's session is going to be, make sure what are the records you are having for your health and safety. Link all the records with the documents. Link all the records with the documents. If you can't able to link that, okay, if you can't able to link that, if you have been feeling that, I don't know with you, this record, okay, this record, we can't able to know to which documents I can able to map, or I can't, which I can able to link, then maintaining that record is not going to be useful at, it's not going to be much useful at all for us, yes or no? So that is going to be the key. So all this kind of things, okay, all this kind of things, it has been stated at the class 3, okay, class 3, about the terms, okay, about the terms and definitions. Have a look on that. Whenever you are going to implement, if you have been going to master this ISO 45001, that is the first step. That's a very basic first step you can able to take. Next step is list out all the shall requirements. List out all the shall requirements. What are the shall requirements? Shall means it is mandatory. Okay, shall, should, can. Whenever a auditor is coming, okay, for an audit, there will be two stages of audit. First one will be, okay, first one will be called as a certification audit, stage 1 audit, stage 2 audit. In stage 1 audit itself, okay, in your stage 1 audit itself, most of the time, okay, most of the time, all the statutory and regulatory requirements would have been fulfilled. Then only they will be going for stage 2. Then they will be going for stage 2. In stage 2 audit, okay, in stage 2 audit, all the shall requirements, okay, all the shall requirements will be audited first. All the shall requirements will be audited first. So you have to be more sure in such a way that whether all the shall requirements have been captured by you. Then you can able to go for should. Then you can able to go for should. Should is just a type of improvement. Whether if all the shall requirements have been fulfilled, then we can able to go and we can able to implement the should, all the things which has been given in the should requirements. Any doubt in this as of now? You can able to put your questions in the chat box. As of now, any doubts? Okay. Next thing, we can able to move further. We can able to move further, stating the from each classes. We can able to see about the classes in a very deep way. I will give you a glimpse. Okay, I can able to give you a short overview on each classes, class number 4 to class number 10. That is going to be more useful for us. Class number 4 to class number 10. Class number 4 is going to talk about a contest of the organization. It's going to talk about a contest of organization. What is contest of organization? In what way it is being related? Okay, in what way it is being related to our safety is nothing but in this contest of organization. You can able to see they are going to ask about internal and external issues and expectation of the interested party. These are the two key things as a safety person, as a HR professional, we have to have a list with us. Two things. Okay, first one is contest of organization. In that contest of organization, the class number 4 is contest of organization. In that there are many requirements are there, but you have to know these two requirements, what way it's going to be more useful for you. Requirement, okay, the requirement is interested parties and their expectation related to the safety. You have to put all the interested parties. Interested parties are stakeholders. Who are the interested parties? You can able to ask me, who are going to be the interested parties? Interested parties are persons who are going to be affected by our decision. The same vice versa. By their decision, if we are going to be affected, they are known as interested parties. So you have to list all the interested parties. It's also the stakeholders, all the stakeholders, all the interested party. In what way? Okay, in what way they have been? Okay, in what way they have been expecting from us in terms of safety. As I told you at the starting of the slide, once you are going to have a list for that, what they are expecting, our supplier, what they are expecting a term of the health and safety, what our stakeholders have been expecting. Are we having a promises for that? Are we going to have any kind of promises for that? You can able to have, okay, you can able to see whether we are going to have a process, whether we are going to fulfill their expectations also. Because without, even in that interested party, okay, even in this interested party, you also has to add your regulatory and statutory board also, because that is mandatory. Yes or no? Okay, that is mandatory. Your regulatory and statutory board is going to be a mandatory one. You are going to ask you, okay, my regulatory and statutory board is going to ask me, okay, PPTs will be slides, sorry. Okay, it can be, okay, it will be presented shortly. There is some technical problems. Surely it will be rectified, sir. Soon it will be rectified. Coming to this interested parties, once you are going to have all the interested parties, once you are going to align all the interested parties, in that interested party, we have been talking about the regulatory bodies also. In that regulatory bodies, you have to see, okay, you have to see that whether, okay, you have to see that whether I am fulfilling their regulatory body's expectations or not, whether I am having a system or not, whether I am having a dashboard that incorporates the expectation of the statutory report. I'm talking about only one interested party. Like that, your dashboard should be able to have the numbers, the numerical data which is related to their expectations only. I hope now you can able to get the point. Okay, now, so if they are going to, okay, if your statutory board is asking you, if your pollution control board is going to ask you that every 6 months you have to give this report, okay, that's very good. Are we going to have a system for that? System for not only giving a report, to give the report based on their, okay, based on their limitation, upper limitation, based on their expectation. Are we having a process for that? Ask for that. Then you can able to, okay, then you can able to easily, okay, then you can able to convince your top management, sir, this is the expectations of, these are the interested parties. For this interested party, we are having a process. For this are the interested party, we are having a process, but we are not going to have a measure. We are not measuring at all. The measurement, okay, the measurement is not there. Monitoring is not there. Then they can able to understand, okay, this is the very serious problem. Okay, yes or not? So first, okay, first very important thing regarding, okay, first very important thing regarding this, okay, regarding interested parties and their expectation has been finished. The next one is internal and external issues related to health and safety. They are asking in class 4. Are we having a file for that? As a HR, as a safety professional, you should be able to have a file for that. What is the internal and external issues? First, before going to collect for this internal and external issues, you have to know why this is necessary for us. Why it is necessary for us? Why ISO is asking for this internal and external issues? Whether by having this internal and external issues file, what is maybe the useful? What are maybe the useful? First thing, internal and external issues. My dear friends, internal and external issues is going, okay, it's going to be more useful for us. I hope now you can able to see my screen. Okay, okay, thanks for bearing me. Thanks for it. The thing is, okay, as we have been talking about, can you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay. Here we are going to talk about the contest. Okay, the contest of organization in this class 4. In this class 4 only, they have been asking about all these things. They have been asking about all these things. Here the next one. Okay, understand the needs and expectation of the workers and other interested parties. Then about the internal and external issues. Why about internal and external issues? You can able to see here. Why you are going to have the internal and external issues? Because by knowing this internal and external issues only, you can able to understand, you can able to know what is the real position of your firm in terms of health and safety. What is internal issues? What are the things you can able to have a influence, you can able to have a hand, It is known as internal issues. What are the things we are not going to have that much of freedom, liberty to put our hands is the external issues. It's not that internal issues is within the organization, external the type of external issues is been apart from the organization. It's not so. Internal issues means which we are going to have a hand, we can able to have a control, that is internal issues. External issues is which we are not going to have a hand, that is been termed, okay, it is been termed as the external issues. You should be able to have a list for that. You should be able to have a list for that. Why we are going to have a list for that? Think about the previous thing which I told you. Expectation, internal and external issues. If there may be some of the expectation of the interested party which we may not be felt, which we may not be fulfilled, it can be termed as a internal issues for us. Or there may be some of the external issues. For example, COVID third wave. They have been talking about COVID third wave. It's a type of external issues. Are we having a solution for that? ISO is asking for that. Who is responsible for that? How we are going to handle that? It's always been going to come under its contest of organization. So contest of organization is nothing but understanding the current scenario of your firm in terms of safety is the class number 4. Then we are going for fifth, leadership and worker participation. Very, very important thing. Safety is not going to be the part. It's not going to be the part of only the top management. From watchman to chairman, everyone has to follow the safety. So how we are going to convince the people? First thing, as a leader, we have to set an example, and also how you are going to make your people make participated in this health and safety. It's not only based on trainings. This ISO 4.001 is asking about even your employees has to know. It may be a contract worker, it may be any kind of worker. Those who have been going to come inside your firm, if they have been called as a workers, workers or employees. How they are going to be participating in terms of policy making, in terms of SOP, in terms of giving guidelines, in terms of identifying the near misses, everything has to be prescribed. In this 5, class number 5, leadership and worker participation, I just want to highlight most important thing is OHS policy. Your policy, you can able to see there, your policy includes provide safety and healthy working condition for prevention of worker related. They have been given the guidelines. If you are going to have your policy with you right now, OHS policy, go for 5.2 and see that all the things from A to E, from A to F, are we fulfilling that? That's very important. Whether your policy is giving way for your objectives, or your policy is talking about the legal requirements and how we are going to fulfill it, or your policy is going to talk about the risk and how to eliminate it, or your policy is talking about the continual improvement, or your policy is going to have the consultants, whether before you are going to have your final copy, whether it is been contributed by your employees, your stakeholders, everything is necessary. Policy is a very, very important thing. Vision, mission, policy, objective, then its decision. I can able to repeat you. There should be a vision, mission, policy, objective, and last one is a decision. Whenever you are going to take a decision, you have to go to the objective. Whenever you are going to frame the objective, revise the objective, you should be able to have a policy. Yes or no? It's not a standard. Whenever you are going to talk about a policy or objective, they are going to talk, but sir, the policy is the same for 5 years. It's not so. It's not a static one. We can able to keep on updating that. We can able to keep on updating that. So policy is very, very important. The next important thing is roles, responsibilities, and authorities. Yes, in all the firms, we will be talking about roles, responsibilities. Roles, responsibility, and authority, but very few firms have been talking about the authority. What is authority? Are we having in our JD, job description, what is authority with respect to safety or with respect to your job load? Very few firms have been doing that. Kindly note this. This is going to be the takeaway for this session. Third takeaway, talk to your HR person or talk to your safety person. What is the authority we are going to give for this job role in terms of safety? Authority is nothing but without considering the next level, without considering the top management, he or she can able to take a decision that is known as authority. Are we having that? The persons have been aware that if a near miss has been going, it's been happening, or if an unsafe act has been happening, or a unsafe the environment is there. Are we giving that authority to that job role without considering the next management? You can able to stop the production. You can able to stop the activity. That has to be there to make sure that safety, okay, safety is being followed in all the activity in all the circumstances. Then consultation and participation of worker. Here 5.4. Okay, I can able to tell you that if you want to have a very good culture in your organization with respect to safety, make sure that what are the areas? Have a look on this 5.4. How you are going to how you are going to have the type of consultation and participation from your workers and also from your management cadre. They have been given list of categories. Okay, list of categories how we have been going to have. This is class number 5. Class number 6 is very important section, risks and opportunities. Okay, at the end of the session, I can able to show you a risk and opportunity diagram, so you can able to have a better understanding how all the process. Okay, all the process should have a risk and opportunity chart with you. Risk, not only the risk which have been undergone, it's the entire risk. Okay, it's going to be the entire risk which may come. Okay, which may come in future also. You should be able to have much. You have to identify that. You have to have a risk chart with you. Then how you are going to, based on the risk identified, how you are going to identify the hazards related to that, how you are going to mitigate that, what is the step you are going to have. Always, okay, always don't go for the easiest way of implementing PPEs. It should not be that. Okay, whenever I've been addressing a few colleges also, which is related to health and safety, I always tell that you are having a very big scope of doing a project in all the firms which are using PPEs. Why not we can able to go for administrative control? Why not we can't able to go for engineering control? It's not that the PPE means same PPE or updated PPE can be used for a particular project, particular process. Make sure that why not we can able to go from this PPE level to then type of higher level administrative control or a type of engineering control. Here I will tell you a small example. Okay, a small example. One of the firms at Pune we have been working on, there they found that type of administrative control of getting a approval. Okay, getting a approval or permit for confined space. They have been doing that. They have been having more than 40 to 50 confined space in their industries. They felt that administrative control or PP is not going to be the right solution for the problem which they are going to have. They have been then we had a lot of R&D in that, and then we came up with the engineering control. What is the engineering control? We are going to have a CCTV here. Okay, CCTV here. In that CCTV near to a CCTV covering 5 to 6 confined spaces. If the permit is not obtained, the CCTV is going to capture a person face. Immediately, it will have a bus. It will give a phone call and also a message to that some unauthorized persons have been nearer. Okay, have been working. I've been trying to enter into the confined space. If I've been got the approval, okay, I can able to update that so and so person has been got the approval, so there won't be any kind of alarm will be there. It is the engineering control. So like that, what are the things we are going to do? They have been asking that 6.1.2. Then we can able to go for very important thing. I just want to talk to you here is OHS objective. What are objective? First, very important thing. Whenever you are going to talk about objective should be a measurable one. Should be a measurable one. Maybe in unit, maybe in percentage. How we are going to measure? Without any measurable, we can't able to tell it as a objectives at all. We can't able to tell that reducing the accident.
What's the number out of it? Whether it is 10%, whether it is 20%. Okay, so you have to be in a quantifiable form, that is known as objective. Make sure that training, okay, training for our employees, it is not objective. Objective should be how many training, yes or no, how many trainings in each month, when it is going to be, audited, everything, who is going to be responsible for that, what is the contingency plan you are going to ensure that yes, it can be executed. Everything should be there in the objectives, then only my objectives can be followed. And the most interesting thing here is, my dear friends, most interesting thing here, your policy should be linked with your objectives. Based on your policy, if you are going to tell that we are going to be a world-class health and safety organization by following all the requirements, by following the requirements of statutory and regulatory, we are going to have a continual improvement, everything. Okay, it is a policy. Objective, what are the statutory and regulatory requirements you are going to have? How you are going to monitor that? Who is going to be the responsible? It is known as objective. It is known as objective. So the ground rule is objective should be a measurable one. Objective should be measured. Okay, it can be taken in account by your class 4. It should be monitored. It should be communicated. It should be updated also. Yes or no? After this pandemic, we would have been have much more objectives also. Okay, 2 times. Okay, 2 times once we have to mop our floor. That is going to be the particular requirement. So make sure that it's going to be updated, and persons who have been working in the project, they have been aware about that. What is objective? Then only they can able to understand whether I've been doing my job as per the objectives or not, as per the requirements or not. Next, class number 7 is talking about the resources. My dear friends, here it's a very interesting thing called as competence. What is competence? Competence is nothing but whenever a person is going to do a welding job, example, whether it is being competence or not. What is competence? Knowledge, experience, and skill. You have to define this for our safety purpose also. Whether he or she is a competence person or not, competent enough to do this job or not. Even in this competence, nowadays, global firm has been talking about education, skill, good, education, skill, and also experience. That's very good. But nowadays they are going to add, they are adding that whether the person can able to react to a emergency situation which is been arising at that particular process, then only you have to tell them as a competence enough one. Can you able to get me? Later and all, okay, later we have been defining this competence based on only these 3 parameters. Now we are going to add this 4th parameter also. At time of any emergency in that process, whether this person can able to react in a well-defined way, then only you can able to tell, yes, this person is a competence person. You have to define the competency. Awareness, you have to create the awareness about the policy, awareness of the objective, awareness about their contribution towards that. The communication, here, a lot of communication have been there. I just want to highlight the main important thing. Communication at time of emergency. What level of communication you have to do? You have to have a chart for that. You have to have a very prescribed chart for that. Then documented information saying that what are the documents, entire documents. Okay, documented information, documents and record, it has to be specified, it has to be numbered, it has to be, okay. I will tell all to my friends, okay, whenever I've been there at ISO 45001, list of documents, list of records which has been related to that. What is the output you are going to expect from this record? Why I have to have that record? Why I have to have that record? It has to be well defined. Then only maintaining a record, maintaining the document is going to be more useful for us. Yes or no? That is going to be the more important thing. So make sure, okay, so make sure that yes, you have been having this, okay, yes, you have been having this, then to get the utmost benefit out of it. Next, coming to the operational planning and control. Okay, operational planning and control. This is the 8th class. In this class, okay, in this class, not much, okay, not much things has been there, but it's one of the very important thing which you are going for ISO 45001 or not. It is mandatory that yes, we have been having some plan related to that. How we are going to eliminate hazards which is been identified in the class 6, and how you have been reducing the OHS risk. It's not that our responsibility is to run the show on the daily basis. Yes, it is mandatory, but as a profession, we should also able to have make sure that are we having a strategic plan. Hazards have been identified. How I have been going to reduce that? You have to tell. You have to have your strategic plan. Then important thing of this is this emergency preparedness and response. Yes, my dear friends, we will be having, okay, we will be having the emergency response plan. Most of the time, at time of emergency, after the session, you interact with your emergency team and ask them, are you aware of your role at time of emergency? Many of us won't be. Make sure that you are going to see, you are going to review your emergency preparedness and response plan based on 8.2 requirement. Based on the requirement of 8.2, from A to G is the international requirement for emergency preparedness and response. If you can able to say that yes, from A to G is been fulfilled in my emergency response plan, yes, then you can able to proudly, you can able to say that yes, we are having a world class, we are having a world class emergency response plan. Next, coming to class number 9 and class number 10. Class number 9 and class number 10 is for internal. Okay, class number 9 is for type of internal audit, how you are going to get the type of satisfaction, how you are going to check all the requirements. Class number 10. Okay, class number 10 is what are the things you have been done, you have been audited, you have to submit to your top management on how you are going to, okay, how you are going to tackle, how you are going to face the non-conformity and corrective action. This is the whole thing. I just, okay, before going for the next activity, I just want to ensure a small recap, okay, a small recap of the things which we have been on today. We can able to have a small recap. We have been started from the process approach. We have been started from the process approach, and we have been started from how to highlight the requirements of this safety management to our, okay, to our top level peoples. We have been shown that 5 steps. Are we having a promises? Are we having a process? Are we having a dashboard? Are we having a monitoring systems? Are we going to have a spark analysis? The result of spark analysis has to be discussed. Then we called as a process approach. What is process? Input and output should be well defined. It is the process approach. What is process approach? Is risk-based thinking and PDCA and risk-based thinking. These two things have been called as a process approach. So PDCA plus, what is PDCA? Plan, do, check, act. What is in this PDCA? You have to incorporate safety in all the type of verticals and also the risk-based thinking. What is risk-based thinking? For all your process, you should be able to have a risk-based chart to ensure that the risk is not affecting you. You can able to have a chart in advance. Then we went for context of organization. In this context of organization, we have been on the internal and external issues. We have been on the interested parties and their expectations. And class number 5, okay, class number 5, we saw about the policies and how the type of leader can able to demonstrate. And we also saw about the authority. Are we prescribing the authority related to safety? And then the class number 6. Class number 6, we saw about what is the how to identify the risk, and then we found about the type of objectives. Class number 6, then we found about the objectives. what are the things should be in the objectives. Objective should be a well-defined one. It should be monitored. It should be committed, and also it should be a type of extension of your policy. Then we went to the class number 7. In that class number 7, competence. The very important thing, competence is nothing but experience, skill, how they have been executing that, and the fourth one is whether they have been much aware about the emergency situation, whether they can able to handle the emergency situation. They have been defined as a competent enough person. Then we saw about the communication. We should be able to have a communication for all levels. Okay, if there is any kind of emergency, what type of communication we have to have, we have been taught that. And then documented information. I told you that whenever you are going to have a master list of record or master list of documents, you have to ensure, okay, you have to ensure that whether each document, each record and document is being mapped, you have been much understood why you are going to maintain this record. If that is so, if that is the case, you can able to get lot of insights about that. Next, creating and updating. Okay, yes, how we are going to update it in the operational planning, in control. We saw about eliminating hazards and reducing. I told you it's not about only to use the kind of PPEs. We should be able to have a process to ensure that reduction of the hazards. Yes, new hazards will be coming. The existing hazards is there. We are reducing the risk. It should not be the case. It should be reducing the hazards which is being prevailing there. They have been given the guidelines, and then we have been shown about the emergency preparedness and response from A to G. This is the general global requirement. You can able to match and you can able to see that. Next, 9 and 10 is a performance evaluation. The type of internal audit, MRM, everything will be coming under 9. And 10 is the improvement. How we are going to improve the non-conformity, NCs will be handled here. These are the general things. Okay, these are the general things. But make sure that, we have been using this ISO 45001 to ensure safety, to reduce, to reduce the near misses, and you are going to frame a process approach, safety process approach in your premises that makes sure that foolproof mechanism has been created, that all, the process which need monitoring, you are going to have a monitoring, process which need measurement, you are going to have a measurement. That makes our job much simpler, and we can able to always concentrate. As I told you, we can able to concentrate on the hazard reduction. We can able to make sure that at time of the design itself, the list of hazards can be identified and it can be reduced. With this, I can able to stop my session. As I promised, I can able to show you the risk format also. Before that, if you are having any doubts, you can able to unmute, you can able to share. Thank Ravi sir, thank you for your very kind words. If you're having any doubts regarding to this, surely you can able to ask. Any doubts, any clarifications? Okay, I've been putting 2 forms to you. Okay, 2 forms to you as a feedback link. Surely you can able to. I've been putting 2 forms. Kindly make sure. Kindly make sure that you have been filling both the sheets. One is a Google review. You can able to give the Google review, and also another is a form. Where once you have been filling that form, surely you can able to get the PPT along with you for your further use. Thank you, Siva sir. Thank you, Siva sir. Thank you, lots. The type of ultimate motive of this is we have to make sure that ISO 45001, the standard is with us. We have to tailor make the standard based on your industrial requirement. If that is done, okay, that is done, surely we can able to have the process approach. I've been shared the feedback and also the Google feedback. Kindly ensure that you have been filling both the forms, because once you have been filling the forms, only the team, the invited training team, they can able to share the presentation and also the research materials to you. As I shared with you, yeah, as I've been promised you, I hope you can able to see a screen which has been related to the risk sheet. It is known as a risk sheet. In this risk sheet, you can able to see that the interested parties, what is their needs, what is their expectation, what is the issues related to this interested party, what is their risk related to this issue, and also risk related to this party. This party is learners, for example. Okay, this ISO 45001, they have been done it to a university, so they have been taking as a learners. So, what is the risk related with them? Based on this risk, whether what is going to be their impact, what is going to be the opportunity, how to convert a risk into opportunity. Okay, that's a very, very important thing. Okay, in the coming days, okay, in the coming classes, coming days, we can able to see that. How we are going to do that? If I've been going to have a well-prepared thing, if that risk is going to be affect me, I can able to convert it into an opportunity for me. Yes or no? The industries which have a very good, okay, very good facility towards industry 4.0, had very good network, very good planning. At term of that COVID 1 and 2, they did lot of business, very good business. Why? Others, the competitors can't able to do that. They are going to have a very good, they had a very good infrastructure, so they have been utilized this opportunity. There is a risk. If I've been not going to prepare for that risk, it's going to affect me. If I've been going to have a preparation for that, I can able to convert the same risk into an opportunity. Yes or no? Many handlooms, okay, many kind of textile companies at Coimbatore, they utilized it. They utilize this risk into the opportunity to make sure that they will be manufacturing the mask. Same thing. Okay, are we doing that? Next, what is the severity? It is risk priority number. Okay, what is the severity? Based on this severity, what is going to be the cost, and how you are going to have a prevention? How you are going to? Okay, here you can able to see it's a control measures. How you are going to have a prevention? How you are going to have a detection? After doing this control measures, okay, what is the risk rating? And what is the probability, and what is the additional action you are going to take? Who is going to be responsible? Who is and what is going to be the target, and what is the contingency plan? Okay, this all things is being recorded in the risk sheet. See the intensity of this. If you are going to have this sheet with you for all the process, it has to be filled by the process owner, not by the safety officer, not by the HR, my dear friends. Not by the safety officer or not by the HR, it can be helped by them, but they have to fill them. All the process owners have to fill them. If this is going to be the case, surely you are going to be a person, a industry that can able to turn the risk into the opportunity. I can able to send this sheet also with you. Thank you, Sir Bala sir. Sir, in that Google map, you can able to see a Google review. There are two sheets are there. One sheet they have been put as a Google review one. As Bala sir has been rightly told, it has to be more useful for the public also, so that you can able to put. Okay, you can able to put in the Google review format. That the next sheet is a closed sheet. You can able to put that. You can able to put your name, your feedback, and based on that you will be getting the forms which I have been displayed. And also thank you, and also I thank the invitee team, the training team. Thanks for this opportunity. I think this is the 6th month they have been continuously. They have been doing this on every Saturday. Thank you, the NVT team, and thank you, the organizer, and also thanks our leaders who have been there. And also sorry for it, sorry for the network issues. Thanks for that. Thanks for accepting and be in the session. Have a safe day. Make sure that we have been using. Make sure that we have been using the available formats, available standards for the betterment of the society, and to ensure that the next generation, which they have been going to come here, they have been having a risk-free and hazard-free environment. Thank you, one and all. If you are having any doubts, surely you can able to mail to NVT. They can able to forward it to me, and we can able to see in the future also. Thanks for that. Have a good day. And I've been posted the feedbacks in the chat box. Make sure that you have been using it and you have been filling the sheets. Thank you, one and all.